What a special day. First of all, it's the first day in 46 episodes that we have Chris in the room with us. Thank you, Chris. Give a shout out to the people, Chris.
Hi, it's me, Chris.
And perfect segue to the other Chris, our incredible friend and tattoo artist extraordinaire, Chris Guerrero, is here with us today.
Thank you for having me, guys. I'm so excited.
Listen, we're very excited. I had this idea, you guys. You're welcome. Because I love tattoos. It's no secret. Jem also has a couple little tattoos. And it's something that's special to me. And I know that, especially in the Latino community, sometimes it can be misconstrued. There's a lot of misinformation about it, but it's a beautiful process. It's a beautiful art form. So I had the idea to have a conversation and hang out with Chris and Jem here while we get tattooed. So literally, you can't see right now, but we already have the stencils on.
Yep.
We are set up here. Everything's sterilized, clean.
There was some prep in order to get this together. We talked to Chris G, we'll say.
Chris
G ahead of time to send him our idea so he can get his brain working and his incredible art going.
And I have to say, I don't think I thought this through exactly because I just got excited. I'm like, this is rock and roll. Fuck yeah. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. We're actually going to have to talk and have a conversation while you're drilling needles into us. So you guys, this is all for you.
So Chris, should I get into position before we start interviewing you?
Yeah, we're ready to go.
So Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah.
Who are you? Where are you from?
Well, I'm from Colombia. I was born and raised over there. Then I came here in 2006 and been here in Miami ever since. And yeah.
Do you love Miami?
I love Miami.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. There's no place like it.
That sound you just heard was the tattoo gun.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna try to keep being good at this while you dig into my skin.
Alright, guys.
Yeah, only thing you cannot move.
Okay, I promise
the
not
only
to
thing.
move. Oh my gosh.
No moving, no laughing. You're going to get some ASMR, guys, of the
Serious
actual gun.
ASMR.
This is a great question because now I've heard that a lot of people use numbing creams. I even saw this guy who went under full anesthesia. How do you feel about that?
Man, like, for me personally, I don't like anesthesia. I like to feel or like to have that sense of like, I did it, you know? Like, I have to go through this
Earn your
phase.
stripes.
Exactly. It's kind of like that.
My hands
But-
are starting to sweat.
But also, as a tattoo artist, sometimes when people have the anesthesia, it's easier for me to work, you know, because they don't move. They are not like feeling any pain.
And Jem has quit. No. Okay, here we go. He's about
So
to
it's like a, you know, it's like a combination of feelings.
Yeah. I think it's a cop-out and it's lame.
Yeah.
Agreed. Okay, so question back to you. Did you start as a visual artist? Do you have a background drawing, painting, or were you kind of like, no, I fell into this?
Well, like kind of like the story, were like how I got into tattoos. Obviously, I have been drawing all my life, since I was a little kid. I think since I was, I don't know, since I have memory, I was drawing, you know, like cartoons or like movie characters from Disney. And always since I was a little kid, I was drawing. And then I like left drawing, you know, I stopped drawing for many years because I started here, you know, working. I was in the insurance industry.
Wow.
That has nothing to do with art.
No.
So I stopped, and then obviously what I did is that I wanted to get a tattoo. And later I'm gonna tell you like the story how everything started, but it's a pretty cool beginning on how I got to.
Wait, what do you mean
this.
later on? No better time than now. No better time than
Jem,
now.
how you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Couple strokes in, no pain?
So we've done a couple of tattoos with Chris before. And the
Yeah.
funny part is that the last tattoo I got was a tiny black heart. Em tells it perfectly. I keep going into Chris's tattoo shop, going through like 5 stencils and leaving with a little black heart. But the last one was on my rib, and I thought it was gonna hurt like hell. But Chris is so gentle in his touch as an artist that I just laughed the whole time.
Yeah,
It was
cracking up.
it was funny. It was fun.
We had a blast.
Well, should we divulge what it is we're getting tattooed?
All right, so ever since I was a little girl, I've grown up and people know I grew up very close to my grandparents. My mom was a single mom, so that meant that a lot of the time they had to split the parental responsibilities with her. When I went to the doctor, usually it was my grandfather and my grandmother going with me. If I was sick at school, the people who were picking me up was them. Every single concert that I had, everything that I had, my grandmother and my grandfather were the first ones there.
Oh, nice.
So, being me and a little bit of a strange person, I was aware of death at a pretty young age. And I would kind of talk to my grandma about, like not really wanting to do life without her. And she used to always tell me, pero mijita, no te preocupes porque yo no me voy, yo me quedo como semillita. Which translates to, don't worry because I'm not going anywhere. When I leave, I'm going to turn into a seed. And it's something that she used to tell me all the time as a kid. A couple of years ago, we were just talking about, like we get into like hour-long conversations, her and I, because she's just the coolest. And we were talking about life again. And she goes, kind of like calling back to my younger years, ha 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 ha, but don't worry, because I'm going to stay here as a little seed. Voy a quedarme como semillita. And so I realized I had never asked her before. And I was like, abuela, nunca me has dicho, ¿qué tipo de semilla serías? What kind of seed would you be? And she stops and she thinks, and she's like, una semilla de melocotón.
Oh, wow.
So Chris is here, and he's designed this 2 peaches on a tree on a branch, which symbolizes me and my grandma and the incredible bond we've always had. And one of the peaches is cut open with the seed exposed. And obviously that one is her. And,
nice.
just the feminine symbol of the peach, and obviously the fact that we're women.
I love that. I love tattoos that not only have concepts that mean something to you, which is one of the first things that I say when anybody asks me about tattoos. I'm like, it may not always come out perfect, it fades over the years, blah, blah, blah. But if it means something to you, to me, that is such a powerful way. You don't choose your nose, you don't choose, your height, your body. But I can decide to have this art, this energy, this moment be a part of me forever. I think that's powerful. I think it's rock and roll. It's not for everybody, but for me, everybody's excuse is always, oh, what if you get tired of it later? I'm like, I'm never going to get tired. You have it on your forearm. My first tattoo, my grandma designed.
Yeah.
Which, to me, I look at this and I remember her. I think of her.
How funny. I just realized the place that I chose to get this is the same place where you got your grandma's tattoo.
Yeah, but it's not a portrait of your mom who then decided to say, get me a blindfold. I don't want to see what happens in the bedroom.
Em has a literal half of her mom's face on her forearm. The amount of times we've drawn a mustache on that face.
Well, here's talking about
Don't
symbolism.
laugh, Chris. You got a needle in your hand.
All right, we're going to do this thing during the episode called the painometer, where we check in to see how you're feeling. Jem, painometer?
What's the numbers and what are they?
0 to 10?
I'm at like a 2 right now,
Nice. All right.
Chris, like I said, Chris is gentle with it.
Yeah, everybody says I have like a light hand.
Yeah,
Nice.
It's great. It's great. It's dangerous.
Well, I can't be a tattoo artist because I'd like rip through your flesh with my meat hands. So let's go back to Chris's story. I want to hear that juicy story. Is now a good time?
You've teased us.
Yeah. So actually what happened was it was like a time in my life that I was in a kind of like in a low place, right? So I was like kind of like figuring it out what I wanted to do and kind of like a little bit lost. So I was okay. One of the things that I wanted always to do was to travel to Brazil. But okay, I'm gonna go visit Brazil. So I decided to learn Portuguese.
Wow.
I just decided to learn Portuguese.
Yeah, I learned Portuguese. So I was okay. Now I can speak it. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get a tattoo over there. Thinking that it's gonna be a little bit like less expensive.
Was
right?
this your first tattoo? No.
Yeah.
This was your first tattoo.
I didn't have any tattoos.
And why Brazil?
Because I love the, like the culture, the music, the language. So I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm gonna travel. And especially since I learned Portuguese, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to Brazil and experience it over there. So what I did is I searched in Google. I said, what is the best tattoo shop in Rio?
Oh my goodness.
And it showed Kiko Tattoo,
Oh boy.
which they have two shops over there, right? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna search it. It showed up, and I was okay. I like the work. I saw a guy that, because I wanted to do this type of style, Polynesian style,
Right.
Gorgeous.
So I was okay. I found a guy in that shop in Kiko Tattoo. So I talked to him, and he gave me the number of the manager, right? So the manager, I started like speaking to her. She was okay, Chris. This is gonna be this much, like different sessions. I thought it was like it's gonna be like in one day, but no.
I know.
Obviously, I didn't know anything about tattoos. So I was like, she was like, wait, but where do you live? So I was, no, yeah, I'm in Miami. She said, but do you know Kiko Tattoo? It's in Miami. So I was like, no, it's that I wanted to go with this guy because he knows how to do this design. And she was like, no, but the guy that taught him how to do it, it's in Miami.
Oh my
And he has a shop over there. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go there.
Convince me, okay.
And what happened, I think in life, I learned that everything happens for a reason. Like everything. And I see like everything that happened to me, it was like God, the universe, everything like was perfect. Because that day, I called them and they were like, okay, Chris, you're gonna want to do this tattoo. It's gonna be like 130, right? A lettering. So I was like, okay. So what happened was, at that time, Kiko had two other artists, right? That they used to do like kind of like the small tattoos, letterings or like smaller designs, and Kiko used to do like the bigger projects, right? But that day, one day, like both of those artists didn't like no fueron al estudio.
Well,
They
didn't
didn't show up. And Kiko's client canceled on him. So the manager, which was his daughter,
Fine.
she was like, Chris, there's an opening today. Can you come? And I was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go. So I went, and Kiko did the tattoo. Wow. And while he was tattooing me, I was like, oh, I like, I used to draw. That's one of the things that I like to do. So he was like, well, Chris, why don't you like bring me some drawings, and if you're good, I can teach you how to tattoo.
Like for to be his apprentice?
Yeah.
Wow.
But it was like super random because like I can teach you.
Wow.
And I was like, what? So what he was tattooing me, it was like those moments, in life that is like el bombillito, like the light bulb. Like, wow, man. And I was like, this is what I'm gonna do.
Wow.
I decided at the moment that was like my
Your calling.
yeah.
Wow.
And the funny thing is that I used to draw, like I said, when I was a little kid, cartoons and like simple stuff. So he was like, hey, but you know how to draw realism, right? Like portraits and stuff. And I was like, yes, of course.
Yeah.
I can do that. Like, okay, so you know like the different type of pencils to use. I was, of course, I know them. But I never have, like, I nunca había dibujado algo así.
Oh, you were...
Fake it till you make it, baby.
Yeah, exactly. So he was okay. Show me in this day. Come here to the studio and show me the drawings. Okay. So I went to my house, and I was in YouTube how to draw realism.
Wow.
And I started like learning how to do it, practicing it at my house. And then on that day, I went with some drawings and I showed him. But the funny thing is that he was like tattooing. He was like, oh, Chris, I didn't think you were going to show up. So, but I went to that day. I showed them the
You
drawings.
were ready.
And he was like, Chris, look, like you can draw, you have potential, but there's like, there's another level that you can go, you know? And it's funny porque, I'm gonna say it in Spanish.
Yeah.
Pero él dijo como que, bueno, tu mamá de pronto piensa que dibujas bien, you know?
Your mom is the one who thinks you can draw.
I'm like, oh man, like what?
Like always, you know, like your parents are always gonna think the best of you.
Yeah.
You know that you're the best.
But he's like, no, but you suck. You kind of suck. There's room to grow, but you know, you have potential.
How did you take that? Were you?
No, it was super. Like, for me, it was like, okay, it was a challenge.
Yeah.
So he was like, look, Chris, do this. Go do this course of this guy that he teaches how to do, you know, like realism drawings with pencil.
Wow.
But the funny thing is, at that time, I was super broke.
Damn.
3 U's, super bro.
Super broke. So I didn't have the money to do the course. But I found out that guy had free tutorials on YouTube.
Wow.
So I took all those tutorials, like I like devoured those tutorials. And I started like going into the studio to draw, you know, to practice and draw. And obviously because I wanted to be, you know, in the environment, helping, just seeing everything. So like obviously my level of drawing like went to the roof. And then he was, okay, Chris, you're ready. And what happened is that every time that I went, obviously we bonded more. And he was like, Chris, I know that you speak Portuguese, Spanish, and English, you know? He says, like, you know, my daughter is going, you know, she's not going to be the manager anymore.
Wow.
Are you open, like, to be the manager? You know?
Higher.
And I was like, yes, I want to do this, you know? So he was like, no, go home and think about it. And I was like, no. That's okay, I'm good.
You're like, I thought about it.
I can do it tomorrow. And that's how everything started.
Wow.
You know? I went for my first tattoo on an appointment. And then...
Your first gig. Qué rico.
Sí, y ahí me volví tatuador. I found my, you know, I found my mentor and my life changed completely.
Launching.